So, guys, an American commentator has lambasted Tinubu for being this quick, in invading another country with military fighter jets, trying to stop coup plotters. Now, take a look at this headline. It says, misplacement of priorities. You should bomb terrorists in your country, not revolutionaries in Benin. American political commentator tells Tinubu this is coming at the wake of Nigerians hearing that Tinubu sent military jet trying to, interfere with the military coup that was about to happen in Nigeria. Like you can see here, it says Nigerian fighter jet sent to Benin Republic amid military takeover. Nigeria has dispatched military aircraft to Benin Republic in response to a military coup that ousted President Patrice Talon on Sunday, according to credible security sources. The fighter jets departed from Lagos, can you imagine, on Sunday and have been observed flying in Benin Republic airspace. Nigeria has heightened its surveillance, the surveillance operation to closely track the fast-changing political and security developments in its neighboring countries. So we have surveillance and bandits are invading Nigeria. So guys, many Nigerians have reacted to this Tinubu being this fast to invade a foreign or a sovereign nation. They said Trump shouldn't come to Nigeria to stop terrorists. That Nigeria is a sovereign nation. The same sovereign nation went ahead to invade another sovereign nation. So guys, this has come with a whole lot of reactions. Like this person here said, it's illegal for President Tinubu to expressly deploy members of Nigerian armed forces to Benin Republic without the approval of the Nigerian Senate. As a matter of fact, that's an impeachable offense. Section 5, subsection 4B of the Nigerian Constitution provides that, except with the prior approval of Senate, no member of armed forces of the Federation shall be deployed. So guys, on combat duty outside of Nigeria. So the new defense minister is already failing Nigerians. Tinubu is already using him as a puppet in accomplishing this. Tinubu has no constitutional right to abuse the Nigerian military equipment and Nigerian military forces, to invade another foreign and sovereign nation. Now, this person says, even in the circumstances where the Constitution provides a limited intersection in Section 5 or subsection 5 of the Constitution, the President, in consultation with the National Defense Council, may deploy troops in limited combat duty abroad if Nigerian national security is under imminent threat or attack. But we are not under any imminent threats. Neither are we under any imminent attack from Benin. He went ahead to say, and even in such cases too, the President must still notify the Senate within 7 days of combat engagement. And the Senate has 14 days to approve or disapprove the deployment. None of this Tinubu did. We didn't know that the Tinubu's government can be this fast in taking action using Nigerian military jet to bombard another sovereign nation. So guys, while Sambisa Forest was intentionally protected all these years of Shekau and is meant to stay there, nobody dared invaded Sambisa Forest until Shekau was said to have been killed. Until today, the terrorism is still tearing Nigeria to its faces. And this one still says, the coup attempt which took place in Benin Republic is their internal affairs, which does not in any way threaten the security or sovereignty of Nigeria. So, deploying the Nigerian armed forces to Benin Republic is a gross violation of the Constitution, which created both Nigeria and the office that Tinubu occupies. You can't claim to be interested in upholding democracy in another sovereign nation while destroying and tearing your own constitution apart. Who is advising Tinubu? That's the question. So, guys, let me allow you to take a look at this video. Let me also know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your bell notification. Now, take a look.
Yesterday to me was very surreal. I was going to wake up in the morning at 5 a.m. to head straight to Cotonou, have a quick breakfast, and then head out to Lomé, and from Lomé to Ghana. I've done that trip too many times, and it's something I'd love to do, especially on Sundays, because there will be no traffic. So, but unfortunately, the night before, I had all my international papers, but then I asked my driver for the vehicle particulars, and he only had the photocopy. I wasn't comfortable with that. I searched everywhere, my 2 offices in Lagos. I searched in the night, and maybe around 11 or thereabouts, I decided that, look, we must abort the trip. I called my friend, Rotimi. We were traveling together. The man who speaks French and lives in Benin Republic is actually from Benin, and Alex Damilda was already in town to accompany us through the journey. Then, when I couldn't get the papers, I called everybody in the middle of the night and said, I'm sorry, we won't be able to make the trip. And that was what saved us. I was born in an Adura church, so I believe in spirituality. And I believe that somehow God must have intervened, because we would have been right inside Benin Republic at the time this melodrama was ongoing, and my car has Nigerian plate number, so which means easily I'll be identified within the community. But as God will have it, we missed that. I'm happy that they were able to foil the coup, and someone who had fought the military dictatorship in the past in my own country. It was a welcome development. When I escaped from Nigeria on July 25th, 1995, I escaped through Seme-Border into Cotonou, from where I went to Lomé, crossed the Aflao border into Ghana, and from Ghana to England, where I will live for the next 3 years. So it's for me, it brought back sad memories that, I thought, democracy has taken root in Africa, but it seems that we're going backwards, which is very unfortunate. But let's thank God that it was quickly aborted.
Well, I did ask a second question intertwined with that, which is whether or not you have any relationship with the president of Benin Republic, and if you have been able to speak with him.
Oh, no, I have no direct relationship with him, but I do a lot of things in Benin. My job is public relations related. I used to have an office in Cotonou. Of course, I know some of their political leaders and interacted with them. Unfortunately, I don't have any direct relationship with them. I go there like I used to in the past. Yes, I knew most of their leaders and I interacted with them.
So have you been able to speak with those people whom you know, particularly in the political class, to get any feelers of what they made, what actually transpired yesterday?
I think the few people I've spoken to are very shocked. They never expected it because, and I'm being very, very truthful, the last 3 times I've been in Cotonou, I've seen a lot of transformation, transfiguration of the country. The country, within a few years under President Talon, has witnessed rapid development. They thought that even sometimes I ask, how did they manage to do this with their limited resources? So he's a gentleman who has done well. The complaints usually amongst the ordinary citizens is that, like we say in Nigeria, stomach infrastructure, we're still very poor. It's not roads we are going to eat. It's not infrastructure that should be prioritized, that there should be social services and all that. So, but I believe he has laid a good foundation for the country, and the military should try and calm down and not destroy that. Because this is going to scare people away. At the moment you start hearing about coups, nobody wants to hear about coups.
Indeed, Benin Republic has now had its democracy for 35 years and counting. And, we've seen, democratic handover of governments from one leader to the other, as opposed to some countries, even along the West African region, where we've seen sit-tight leaders. I'm just a little curious, though. Do you think that in the event, now that this coup has been foiled, does it really spell stability for the shaken country that is our neighbor?
Our president, Patrice Talon, I must tell you, is a very strong leader. Very, very strong. Maybe comparable to President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. So I believe he's going to clamp down on the coup plotters, and maybe this will further stabilize his country. I don't know. But I pray that he's able to use all the wisdom he can muster to bring everybody together in his country. Unity is key. In a situation where there is no unity, then these coup attempts will continue to happen. And don't forget that several of the Francophone countries that we used to describe them, I know a lot of them now are trying to detach themselves from France. Right now are under military grip. So that may be the attraction to the coup plotters. That, why can't we have, what is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, and other places? So, but Benin Republic being so close to Nigeria, for me, that was too close for comfort. I saw a statistic that says that Benin is populated by about 40% of Nigerians, and a lot of those Nigerians are Yoruba-speaking people. What we used to call the people, around Badagry and some of them in the Okeogun, So, in fact, majority of their leaders speak Yoruba. You'll be surprised. Their former president, who I know quite well, Professor Yayiboni, speaks, Yoruba, and they are very, very much close to Nigeria. And you can see President Patrice Talon is very close to our own President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Nigeria, and that's why I believe Nigeria must have jumped at the opportunity to assist him yesterday, sending our Air Force bombers and everything.
Well, I know that Ayo also has questions for you. Ayo.
Well, thank you, Mark. Well, Chief, there's just one question that I asked earlier. On the one hand, many of these the coups that we've had happen on the, should I say, the upper part of the African continent, and the lower part seem to be coasting easy with their democracies and all of that. So on the one hand, what is that saying something to us? And secondly, there are those who have been wondering, and in all of these, military takeovers and interventions and all, nothing significantly has been heard from the African Union, leading to the question whether or not the African Union has teeth, or it's just a club of friends. Chief, could you kindly unmute?
Unmute?
Yes, please go ahead. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay. So, the truth is that we love in Nigeria to speak about, we're a sovereign nation, nobody should interfere in our affairs. Yes, the African Union, I'm sure they will speak by today. Yesterday was Sunday, so I'm not sure if anyone was at work. I'm sure they will speak today, but it will just be the usual diplomatics, and there's not much they can do. The intervention of Nigeria today is still quite sketchy, so I don't know what happened, who prompted it. They are saying that President Talon requested for help from Nigeria, so that is going to be a bit controversial. If you go on Twitter, X, platform, you will see a lot of people complaining that what is the business of Nigeria in intervening and bombing people who they describe as revolutionaries on Twitter. I don't know if they were revolutionaries or just military adventurers, So, I don't know what African Union can do. You can see that even when our president spoke about intervening in the Niger Republic the other time, nothing came of it. At the end of the day, we just spoke and we couldn't do anything. So I'm sure we have to wait for this week to hear what the citizens will be able to say about what happened in the Republic. What we're hearing so far is from the angle of the government. So, but we're hoping that the opposition, for example, in the Republic, will be able to speak and let us know what exactly is ongoing in their country. For now, everything is sketchy.
All right, well, that's one. But how about the fact that, okay, maybe one other question we should be asking is there any comparison then, in your opinion, from what you know, between the African Union and the European Union? The European Union is of course, said to be an economic power bloc, and it's like there are rules that every nation member, or rather every member nation of the EU, have to line up with. Do you see that kind of thing happening in Africa? And do you see that being capable of forestalling such military pushes from time to time?
You see, even at the level of ECOWAS, the unity we love to trumpet, for me, is just fake unity. there should be no reason why I should be driving through Aflao or through Ilakoji in Togo or through, all the other parts of West Africa, and I need a passport. We should be able to drive through like we do in Europe, I believe the African Union leaders will need to do better than they are doing right now. A lot of times in the past, before President Talon came, we had a lot of roadblocks between Nigeria and Benin Republic. So, and it discouraged a lot of us from traveling by road. We should be able to travel freely and enjoy and do business and, if possible, have the so-called common currency that they've always talked about. But nothing of the sort has happened. It's always about the jamboree of just holding African Union summits here and there. So your question is very germane. But I will say not much has been achieved by them. If you look at what President Gaddafi tried to do when he was head of the government in Libya, same thing with the Ostagefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. They wanted an African Union that will have, similar passports, similar currencies, but nearly 60-something years after the Ostagefo, not much has happened to them. It's still the usual summits. Let's just hope that maybe we will sit up, because it will help if they have a kind of cooperation and collaboration between the African countries. It will really, really help. And then maybe that would discourage further coups in Africa.
Let's start with the Republic of Benin. We've been discussing that all morning. And I said, yes, while I think that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu acted reasonably, and may well say, oh, okay, this is a threat at the border and we don't want collateral damage, but the law is the law. The Constitution of Nigeria does not give him powers to deploy troops, as he has done, to go to another country with Nigerian resources, whatever the justification may be. However, Section 305, sub 3, I think, 2.3, offer him, a way out. And that way out is that this morning, as I said earlier, before 12 noon, he should transmit a letter to the National Assembly to seek the ratification of the National Assembly at a joint session. The Constitution says joint session. It may sound legalistic, but that's what our law says. And if the National Assembly joint session says withdraw Nigerian troops, it will have no option but to withdraw them immediately, so as to prevent dictatorship, unilateral use of the powers of the commander-in-chief. That's the legal part. But the Nigerian part is that I like the fact that Nigeria has shown power, even if Talon has not acknowledged what we did. Now, about Atiku visiting President Jonathan, well, I don't see much in that. I mean, politicians can visit each other. And then the issue about PDP. PDP is now effectively a divided family. Where do you think all of this will end? And do you think that Governor Adeleke is right to have said, look, I'm leaving your party for you. In the meantime, let me win my election first. When I resolve my election matters, I may return to your party.
All right, thank you, Dr. Abati, for that, those questions. I mean, this is the finest moment for every Nigerian to be proud of themselves, of their country. What Nigeria did in Benin Republic was very good, absolutely what was required of us as a bigger nation. And of course, the legality of that is, what we'll be debating in a few days. So, well, Benin Republic sent 2 letters, what's called note verbal in diplomatic circles. That's an urgent message that needs to be sent for support, one thing or the other. I mean, myself, I've been a beneficiary of Note Verbal before when I was stranded somewhere at the Sharjah airport in the United Arab Emirates, and the Nigerian government had to help us out at Arise News here. So what was done was actually a very good thing by President Bola Tinubu. But like you said, the law is the law. And President Tinubu has to actually follow what the law says in terms of what we, Nigeria, as a country have agreed upon in terms of domestication of treaties and the actual power that grants the authority to the head of the executive branch of government in Nigeria to go to war with another country or any other is the National Assembly. And in this instance, you know that this is a coup. There could actually be a counter coup in Benin Republic this morning, and the military that may come on board would declare a war against Nigeria for that act that we took. So it's very, very important for us to know that it's a very serious thing that was done. And as simplistic as it looks like, we have to follow the legality of the law, because if not, it could be an impeachable offense against a sitting president, whether it's President Tinubu or any other one. But what was done is something that actually brings joy to us and shows that Nigeria can still exercise its powers as a big brother within the continent, but within the ambit of the law. And in this instance, we've done very well by following the ECOWAS protocols. You see, other countries were called to deploy troops, but how many were eventually deployed? It was Nigeria that did that. But why don't we deploy that sort of weight into tackling the criminals, the bandits, the terrorists that the country? Because that's what every Nigerian citizen waking up this morning is asking. If we have this power to tackle these coup plotters and restore legitimacy back to the government in Benin Republic, how come we are not using the same that the entire square meters of the Nigerian Federation is within the control of our armed forces, and we don't have anybody, troubling us in ungoverned spaces? Well, I really salute President Bola Tinubu's courage, because it takes courage for you to do that, and then a whole lot of organization. But ECOWAS needs to really, take a critical look at this and see how Nigeria will benefit from what we have done. Because, Dr. Abati, the major challenge I have with these West African countries, especially the Francophone countries, is that they don't give us our dues. Like you have said now, when it comes to voting Nigeria at the UN or other international organizations, you'll be surprised that Benin Republic will vote against us. They refuse to acknowledge what we did. I mean, President Patrice Talon did not even acknowledge President Tinubu's action, Nigeria's action. They will go and be supporting the French and other global powers, but they will be kicking against Nigerians or Nigeria's candidacies and all of that.
So guys, let me quickly take you through some of the headlines on the social media. There is a Fulani man who is saying that, let me read out the headline. It says, even airline business is private business, yet government builds the airport. Macban, Nigeria President Baba Othman Ngezama respond to critics who say cattle rearers should take full responsibility for their livestock and leave government out of it. In this borderline exclusive conversation with Ireti Bakare Yusuf, the full interview drops Monday 6th on YouTube, Monday 6 p.m. on YouTube. So the full animal was seen saying that the government builds airports for airline owners. Why can't the government help the Fulanis? So guys, these people gradually left their countries. They are mostly not Nigerians. Just that they were fortunate to have been, their parents came in here and gave birth to them. And now they are telling the Nigerian people how to use their money. Now, let me read some comments. Like this person has said, Northern governors should pool resources together and build their ranches instead of spending billions on Hajj that has and add no value to development or growth. Hajj, zero benefit. Northern politicians need to change their mentality and mindset. They need to grow and be mature. Tinubu is giving so much money to governors, and still the governors don't even know what to do with so much in their hands. Look at the mentality of these Fulanis. Do these people do the people in aviation business use the airport for free? This makes sense. Don't they pay huge taxes do those in road transportation business don't pay taxes? Don't they buy tickets and permits? These Fulanis are not just terrible, they are wicked. Okay, the government gives you nothing for free. The airport you are using, you pay big money to them, but Fulani wants the government to build it for them for free, and then they will not even have anything to pay. They should just say the government should build ranches. They come and rent. That's exactly what the airport owners, the airline owners are doing. Government build those facilities. They rent it. They pay for those services they get from the government. And this person, the airline are paying rent. I'm sure you are planning to use the government facility for free. Otherwise, why have you not been buying feed for your cattle, but you would rather take them into people's farm to eat their crops, honestly? Airlines are paying rent. I'm sure you are not planning to use the government facility for free. And here it is, Nigerians are not against you carrying your cattle all over the country. We are against you straying into our farm and eating up our crops and killing the owners of the farm. So don't come here pretending you've got an idea how the whole problem started. I don't think there is anything wrong fundamentally if the government provides ranches all over the country. In fact, I concur that government must provide the ranches. Meanwhile, the government must ensure that there's a total ban on movement of cows on food anywhere in the country. Anyway, a ranch should be in your own village. Chimo, what wanton foolishness. Most of your airfare is not for the aircraft or aviation fuel. If it is for taxes and airport usage, these folks stuck in the Middle Age will use anything to justify their evil. Honestly. A lot of people are commenting under this post out of hate and not to understand things. Many Southerners don't think at all, and this is exactly the reason why we always outsmart them when it comes to power. You need to start thinking and not jumping into conclusion. This is a stupid thing. Airline pay huge taxes to the government. That is why they build these airports. Besides, the airports are in every country. Is every country's gateway. How much taxes does the headers pay to the government? Do they even pay tax? I don't think they pay anything. Me self as Igbo man, I ready to buy ranches, so if the headers will rent and pay in due time. What an intellectual dishonest take. Mostly every road is government road, but government does not buy cars for everyone. Well, everyone who use the road. The government mustn't buy everything for you, especially for your business. Did government give or build poultry for farmers? Did government give free land for farmers? I think this is a good question. Does government build poultry? Why will government now come and build for them? The level of entitlement these people has is so annoying. Every airline pays to use airport. Government will build ranches today if the headers agree to pay to use those ranches. Very stupid talk. Simple. Some people and the way they reason because of their selfish reasons. So guys, these are Nigerians reacting to this Northerner who has come out to say that it is the right of it is their right for the government, especially like the Tinubu's government, to build ranches for them, that they cannot just leave them like that. That after all, the government also builds ranches for, like, other like airline owners, that the government build ranches for them, and that there's no way the government can just leave them like that without also building ranches for them. So guys, these are Nigerians reacting to all this. Let me really know your take on this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.